Yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Master's Teach. And today we are going to discuss perspectives in education, especially for the APDSC and those who are preparing for the UGC NET education. Also, it is important, and it is important for CTET, TET of various state conducted teacher eligibility test. Okay, do concentrate and. So this PPT I'm going to upload in the system in the description where you can download. Simultaneously, I recommend to download Masters Teach app where you will find all PAE online classes and offline material. Everything is available. And today we are going to discuss education, especially Buddhist, Jainist, and medieval education. Okay, it is see, I'm the faculty of education in B.Ed college, so I'm the right person to teach you all. So if you are newly watching my channel, please do subscribe and share with your friends. Okay, let us start with the introduction. So we already discussed Vedic period and pre-Vedic period, and today we are going to discuss post-Vedic period. So the education shifted from Buddhism, from Vedic period to Buddhism, Jainism, and they challenged the Brahmanical thoughts and expanded access to learning to all the people. So, previously, that education system was there in Vedic period, like ritual recitation. So it shifted to that type of education to logic, ethics, and inquiry. Then new philosophies came into picture. Buddhism, Jainism. So basically, they prioritize moral and development of the people, and also the medieval education. It is also called as Muslim education period. So India is ruled by the Islamic people. So they introduced the maktabs and madrasas, and so it is diversified their education system in India. Okay, so Buddhist education. So here the Buddhist education is exclusively alternative for the Vedic Orthodox type of education. So Buddhist education was founded by Lord Buddha, so it is concentrated on Lord Buddha's teaching. So welcoming the students regardless of their caste, creed, color, and social uh, hierarchy. Anybody can study in this Buddhist education. The key features are there in Buddhist education. It is started in viharas. So learning happen in viharas. Okay. Then they emphasized on self-discipline, and also they given more concentration on ethics, moral, spiritual focus, and residential holistic training. That means 360-degree level of the students' education, and it is a socially inclusive, irrespective of gender, like male or female, or social justice also is done in this Buddhist education. So aims of Buddhist education. So when they ask in the exam, what are the aims of Buddhist education? You should know this. These are the things. One is character. So as a human being, you should have, the student should have the compassion, okay, honesty, and right conduct throughout their life. Then nirvana, that means liberation from suffering through wisdom and ethics. Okay, how we are going to liberalize, okay, from the suffering through wisdom and ethics. Then intelligence, okay. So in order to increase the intelligence and thinking level, the philosophy of inquiry came into picture in Buddhist education. Then social welfare. So developing individuals who contribute to social well-being. So these are the aims of Buddhist education. One is character building, nirvana, intelligence, and social uh, welfare of the people. What is the curriculum in this Buddhist education? It is the core religious text, which are called as Tripitakas, okay, which are served as the primary education. So, which composes syllabus, monastic codes, and philosophy. What is the philosophy and ethics? So its curriculum focused on Buddhist logics and ethical principle. It is a systematic philosophical inquiry. So the curriculum consists of Tripitaka, medicines, logic, and languages. So what is Tripitaka? Which is about the spiritual things mentioned in Tripitakas of Buddhism. Then medicine. They basically they concentrated on Ayurvedic healing. Then logic, reasoning, and debate also is there in the curriculum. Then languages, Sanskrit and Pali is the main languages in Buddhist education. You can say this Pali language. Then what is the education institution in Buddhist period? One is Montessori's, then Nalanda universities and Takshashila. So monasteries. So it is where people are residing in the teacher and student going to reside in the particular place. There is a residential place that is called as viharas, whereas education, food, and shelter given to the students and monks and that means teachers. Then famous universities in Nalanda. So it is the ancient global center for scholars. They where they are going to have housing thousands of students and monks going to reside there. The Nalanda is the university, which is also an important question for UGC NET. Then Takshashila, so it is a early university offering advanced studies in medicines, law, and philosophy. So the greatest institution in Buddhist period, monasteries, that is Viharas, Nalanda University, and Takshashila. Then teaching methods in Buddhism. One is question answers method. So it is also called as Socratic method. Then discussion. So everybody has to participate in active participation, experimental. So learning through practice and services. So you can have this entire detailed study in my app. Download Masters Teach app. If you are newly watching my channel, please do subscribe. Okay. Then it comes to the Jainist education. So this is rooted in like Tirthankars. So Jainist, it is a foundation for Jainist education is a Tirthankars. So which are so Jainist education focused on liberating the soul through three jewels: right knowledge, faith, and conduct. That is also called as Ahimsa Satya Aparigraha. So Ahimsa means non-violence towards all the being. So as a supreme educational principle, then Satya, which is a truthfulness in thoughts, in actions, in all the essential moral growth. Then aparigraha, that means simple living and detachment from the material possessions to foster discipline. So aims of Jain education, one is moksha, moral discipline, and self-control. Moksha means freedom through right knowledge, moral, this is living by five vows, self-control, rigorous mental and physical restraint. So these are the aims of education in Jainist education. Then curriculum in Jainist education. One is religious text, that is agamas. So or it also called as uh, canonical scriptures formed to core study and ethics and cosmology. Then philosophy and ethics. It is a depth study of Jain metaphysics. Then uh, Anekantavada and principles of righteous conduct. Literature. So linguistic study of Prakrit and Sanskrit to foster cultural and literary refinement. Maths and logic. So advanced instruction and mathematical logical system essential to the Jainist education. This is the curriculum in Jainist education. One is religious text, which consists of uh, agamang, agamang, agamas, then philosophical ethics, then literature, maths, and logic. Then teaching methods in Jainist education. One is memorization. So everybody has to memorize the sacred text. So ensure that that is going to be preserved in their minds and it should be transmitted to the next generation. Then religious preaching. So monks used to deliver the different philosophical ethics and so which taught about the liberation and educational centers. Their moral instructions. So they guided discussion, help the student to internalize and apply core Jain ethical values. So the main teaching methods are memorization, religious preaching, and moral instruction. Then education in the medieval instruction. So medieval period, what happened? So the medieval period started between 8th to 18th century. It is stemmed from the Indian education system. It is this is influenced by Islamic rule. So they introduced the institutions and curriculum centered theology and Persian culture. So in medieval period, the Persian culture also introduced. The new institution came, maktabs and madrasas. It is a primary center for learning the new language. So Arabic and Persian emerged as a standard for scholarship. Then patronage. So rulers actively supported scholars and educational foundations. So this is about the education in medieval period. Then education institution in medieval period. One is maktabas, maktabs, that is a primary schools which is attached to the mosque. So they taught the Quran, basic literacy and arithmetic. Then madrasas. So it is a higher education institution, basically theology and law philosophy, maths and astronomy were taught. Then mass center. Okay, so if they serve the role both the place of worship as well as informal community hubs for religious instructions. So the medieval education institutions are maktabs, madrasas, and mosques. These are the centers. So what is the curriculum in medieval period? One is Quran theology, then Persian Arabic languages they taught, mathematics, arithmetic, and algebra. Then astronomy, that is celestial science, were taught. So mainly the Quran was taught in and Islamic theology also introduced. Then language is the Persian, which is a quoted cultural language. Arabic is the religious and scholar language. It is a compulsory subjects. Okay. So then teaching methods. One is lecturing method in medieval period, memorization, and teacher centered method. So medieval education strictly say teacher centered education. So maulis or ustads as they have the absolute authority. So the students has to require to listen, memorize, and obey. So rote learning is the Quran prioritized over critical debates. So what is the merits and demerits of medieval education? So the merits are they preserved Islamic and cultural literature. So they promoted Persian and Arabic scholarship. So produced scholars and administrators. So rulers used to give donations for the art and science. What is the limitations? So it is restricted to the only Muslim males and over focused on religious studies. So discouraged independent thinking, locked systematic and universal policies. So what is the contribution to Indian education? Key universities are there in Jainist, Buddhist, and medieval education. Nalanda and Takshashila hosted global scholarship and diverse tradition. Buddhist, Jainist, and Islamic system was shaped India's heritage. So almost 100 plus lasting impact is there. Okay, so they are established for the moral education, institutional learning, and intellectual cultures in India. So producing generations to influence the scholars and leaders. So conclusion here, Buddhist and Jainist medieval education remain the living roots of India's intellectual and moral heritage. Okay, so here we discussed about the education evaluation, ethical foundation, how it is done, how it is influence Indian education system. This is a small presentation from my side. So if you are watching my channel, please do subscribe and share with your friends. It is a excellent content which will be helpful to you to clear your examination. Thank you. All the best for your coming examination. Do download Masters Teach app that will be helpful to you. All the best for your coming examination.